Welcome to the Andy Ruther Show. Here is your host, Andy Ruther.
Welcome back to another episode of the Andy Ruther Show. That is me, your host, Andy Ruther. What is going on today, guys? What's happening? We're hitting that end of summer. We're almost to mid-August by next week. Then we hit fall, my favorite time of year to live in Cincinnati. Without a doubt, the fall. It's the best time of year. Summer, it's too hot. It's too damn hot here. I hate the humidity. That's the thing I dislike probably the most about living in Cincinnati is the humidity. Fall's great. Don't even mind the winter. So looking forward to the cool down, as they say. So I don't think they say that. I'm just saying that. I don't know why I said as they say. The cool down. Try to make it cool. There's nothing cool about me saying cool down. Feeling good, getting back in the groove this week. I had a long weekend with the boys, the college buddies in Lake of the Ozarks. It was the longest time I was away since Isla came into my life, since she was born. So I was gone Thursday, Friday, Saturday, got back late Sunday night. She was already in bed. So I did not see her go to bed for 4 nights, which to be honest was kind of tough. Like I missed her a lot. It was great being away, great spending time with the college buddies, but I missed her. I don't know. It was interesting for me. You know what was interesting for me? I was telling Brittany, I think where I'm at versus my friends is different because they got married and had kids younger. Whereas I didn't settle down, didn't have my first kid till I was 41. So a lot of those guys have been married 10 plus years. One of my buddies almost 20 already. So it's different. But by that I mean I think they're, let me phrase this. So like for me, I could have sat by the pool all weekend. Right? We had a great spot, we had a great pad. It was like a $2.1 million house that we rented. It was very nice. Very, very nice. I could have sat by the pool. It overlooked the lake. It was very scenic, very pretty. It's a really nice area if you've been to Lake of the Ozarks. I could have sat by the pool. I could have done a boat rental for a day or just gone around the lake. My buddies wanted to go to a party cove on Saturday, which again, I'm cool with, but I just think we're at different spots. And I don't know if this is because I don't drink alcohol. That could be a part of it. But for me, a getaway from the family was just relaxing. Because I did all that crap for a long time. The party cove, the strip clubs, all that stuff. I did it. I did it for a long, long time. But I understand if somebody's been married 10, 15 years, maybe they want to go to a party cove. They want to check the scene. I didn't care as much about that. Not that I wasn't going to go because all my buddies went, but it was just different, I definitely was the one who wanted to leave the earliest. That's for sure. And I really don't think it's because I'm not drinking. I don't think alcohol played a role in that. I had my own nice little buzz. I had some edibles, so I was feeling good. Thanks to our cannabis friends, I was feeling good. But I just don't care. And again, that's fine. That's fine. I understand why they want to do that. If they've been married 12, 15 years, it's a little different. But personally, I could have just sat by the pool all weekend. Not having to deal with a young toddler, that's relaxing, just not having to deal with it. So it was a fun weekend though. It was great to see my buddies, and probably the biggest hit showing our age of the weekend was the toilets at the house we stayed at. Not even joking. They had these toilets that were absolutely amazing. These bidets. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. It was the most technologically advanced toilet I've ever seen. And I've heard about this stuff. I know this is a craze now. People with money, they buy these Japanese toilets. I don't know if you've seen these things. They're next level. But the toilets at this house, it wasn't just a bidet. So all my toilets at my house have a bidet. I didn't put those in. The family we bought the house from was Indian. So it's a cultural thing. So my bidets are really cheap. My bidets are literally just a hose. You take a hose after you take a dump and then you spray it up your butt. That's all mine is. Now, I like it. I really enjoy it. I like the bidet. I like that I can spray. It's nice. But these bidets destroyed that. My bidet is literally a hose. It's the cheapest level bidet. This bidet, I'm going to pull this up for you guys. This is how impressed I was. It's the Toto Washlet electronic bidet toilet seat. Let me just pull this up in case anyone is interested to see how great this bidet is. Okay. So, excuse me. So this is what we have here. We have, listen to what this thing does. I'm just going to play it. This is on Amazon. So it's on Amazon. It's on sale right now. They're slashing the price, guys. They're listing it at $1,165. It's on sale for $610. So it's still $610, about 50% off. Look at this thing. This thing's amazing.
Washlet K300 electronic bidet seat. Experience an adjustable heated seat.
So that's the first thing you get, right? The first thing you get, you sit on the toilet, it's instantly heated on your ass. Never had anything like it. Just warms the tush up. You just feel so good. So that's the first thing you do. And actually, that's not the first thing you do. Before that, there's a sensor. Every time you walk by the toilet, the lid comes up. So the toilet lid comes up every time you walk by it, which I thought was awesome. Talk about lazy. It's the most American thing ever. You don't even have to lift the toilet seat. It does it for you. Then you sit down and boom, it's heating up your ass. But wait, there's more.
Continuous warm water cleansing. Self-cleaning wand. A customizable warm air dryer. An innovative deodorizer. And pre-mist bowl cleaning technology.
Look at this.
No wonder over 60 million washlet models have sold worldwide. Enjoy cleanliness and comfort every day with Toto's Washlet K300.
So that's it. The Toto Washlet K300. And they're not paying me for this, for the record. No. This is me just giving a plug. So what's great about this thing is that it has multiple settings for the bidet, right? So you sit down, it warms your butt, and then after you do your business, you have a little remote control, which is right next to the toilet. And the remote control gives you two options for the bidet. You can shoot the water like straight in your butthole, or you can spread it out. Let's say, we're dudes and we're eating a lot of crappy food and late night food. So you might get some mud butt. And when the mud butt comes, the bidet can like spray around your butt. So it'll, sometimes you need to get a good wipe in there. And if you're a hairy dude like me, stuff can get stuck, some dingleberries, nasty stuff. That's where this bidet comes in. It can spray around your butt. And then, unlike my toilet at home with the basic spray nozzle bidet, where then I just got to still wipe because it's wet, there is a dryer in this bidet. You hit the button for the air dryer, and then it dries your butt. Dries the whole area. And on top of that, like the video said, there's a self-cleaner to self-clean the toilet bowl and a deodorizer. It's the best thing ever. And I think they had, let's see here. I believe they had of these toilets, I think they had 4 of them, if I'm correct. At least 3. Maybe every toilet in the house. There's 5 bathrooms. I don't know if the 5th one had it. But these things were the best thing ever. I mean, you talk about a game changer. That's all we were talking about. No lie. We were saying the hardest part to leave was going to be the toilets. Like, you looked forward to your morning shit. You looked forward to it because of this bidet. And I have been eating pretty healthy the last month. I changed my diet, so I'm basically on a Mediterranean diet now. But that was out the window this weekend. So we're having burgers and brats and steak one night for dinner. And then we ordered a bunch of pizzas when we came back from the party cove. Everybody was stoned or drunk. So I'm putting all this bad stuff in my body. So I had to use the toilet a lot on Sunday. Full disclosure, because I know you guys want to know that. But I had that bidet. I didn't want to leave it. None of us did. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Now, is it worth $650, $700? Probably not. But would that be a great gift for your significant other? Man or woman, that'd be a great gift. You could literally just camp out on the toilet. And I'm a guy who likes to bring his phone. I think most people bring their phone, but I'm the type of guy who, after I do my business, a lot of times I just sit on the toilet because I'm messing around on social media or reading the news or checking my email. Now you got this toilet, you got a warm seat. It's really the small things in life, guys. If this was a little cheaper, if this was like $300, I'd probably get one for my master bathroom. Right? Just like half of what it is. But it seems like this is a deal. This is my life, guys. I'm talking about a bidet for 10 minutes. This is where I'm at. This is my point. I am going to be 43 years old. This is what I'm doing. I was so dumb when I went to Spain to live abroad my junior year of college. They have bidets in Europe, right? And they're very common. I was so dumb. I said, why is there a second toilet? Because the host family we stayed with, they had the toilet and they had a little bidet bowl next to that toilet in one of the bedrooms, in my buddy's bedroom. And I said, why is there a second toilet? That's how little I knew. Fast forward 20 years, now I'm experiencing one of the best bidets ever. It's pretty awesome. But it was a good trip. It was a good trip. I wish it was longer. Wish I could have had just a full day at the pool, just lounging with my buddies, relaxing. Brings me back to California. I did a lot of that when I lived in Venice Beach. A lot of lounging at the pool, just soaking up the sun, maybe falling asleep. But it was good to be back. It's real good to be back. I definitely missed Brittany and Isla. I think they missed me too. It was really cute seeing Isla's face yesterday morning when she got up. She ran over to hug me. It's a fun age, man. Her age right now. She turns a year and a half in a week. It's a fun age because she's so active. Everything's new. Everything's cool. It's a fun age. I really like playing with her. But I have these moments. I don't know if I'm just crazy or if other people have this. I have these moments, and probably more frequently than I should, of picturing her like 30 years from now, or her comforting me as an old man. It's weird. And I don't think it's necessarily bad. And maybe it's because I was there with my parents, right? So I almost picture myself a fair amount. Like I'm in a hospital bed and she's there comforting me or touching my face. And it hits me. I don't know why it hits me a lot. I just think about it. Maybe because I'm older too, like older first time dad. I don't know. But I think about it. And I do I'm in the moment and I enjoy the moment, but I also have a curiosity factor of like what's she going to be like in high school? What's she going to be like when she's 25, when she's 30? Because I'm a firm believer you don't really change that much. You change, you evolve, you mature, but I think your core character and personality maintains the same level, I think. I could be wrong. I just know from my personal experience from seeing nephews and nieces as they've grown and then some are about to be teenagers, I see a very similar personality when they were babies. And then I read my baby book and I think that too. All the things my mom would write about me that I've read, it still kind of holds up. And then how I was in grade school or preschool and then high school, all that, it still kind of holds up. So she's very sensitive. She's very fun. She's very energetic. She's quick to laugh, always wants to play. I think that's going to hold up. I hope it holds up. But she's also very needy. It's fascinating. It's fascinating watching a human grow right before your eyes every day. Because we don't see it as adults. We don't see a difference between somebody at 40 and 43. But a child between 1 and 4 is just night and day. And I find all that very interesting and very fascinating, for lack of a better term, to see the evolution in real time. It's pretty cool. But I'm happy to be back. I am happy to be back. Happy to see her, happy to spend time and looking forward to it. Because at this point, I really do just want to spend time with my family. And I'm not just saying this to sound like a good guy or to be, yeah, I'm the best dad ever. I just think it's different because I had a kid later. I just think it's different. I think it's a combination of me not having my parents and also having a kid later. And I'm not saying people don't want to spend time with their kids who had them earlier. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying I understand if it's kind of a little different feeling. Arguably the best part of my day, probably definitely the best part of my day is when I pick her up from daycare, going to grab her. Because she gets geeked. She gets geeked. A lot of kids don't get geeked. She gets geeked when she gets picked up. She runs over. She's so excited. She's so happy. I mean, it literally melts my heart every single day I pick her up. It's one of the best feelings ever. Really is. So we have to pivot on some things. We have the winners. We have the contestants for the $100 giveaway, which I've been promising for about 2 damn months now. We have over 100 ratings/reviews on Apple and Spotify. And I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to share the screen to make it official. So if you left your handle, or if you left any name, or if you sent me a screenshot using Spotify, it's in there. Now we have more reviews/ratings than names in there. So if you're not on there, you must have just done Spotify and not send me a screenshot, and I'm sorry about that. But I have 37 names in here. There's over 100 rating reviews, and I have it on a giant wheel. They have these things online where you can just pick a winner, and it'll do it for you. I wanted to show you guys so that it's Not that I would be cheating or giving a favorite. It's not like I have favorites. But anyway, let's pull this up here. Okay, let's see what we got. We have, it's click to spin the wheel. Let's see what we got here. All right. You guys see this in case anybody's watching here? All right. So as you can see, there's a wheel that's just going to spin, and I'm going to hit the spinner, and you got everybody's name in here. It's just like a wheel you would see on Price is Right or at a church festival or something. And whoever it lands on is going to get $100. I'll send you via Venmo. There it goes. We got. Who we got? Okay. There's your winner. Feist 4 is the winner. You get $100, man. So Feist 4 is the winner. You get $100. I will DM you that, and I will get that your way. Thanks to everybody who's left a podcast review, a rating. All those help. I'm going to continue to do giveaways. This one obviously is a money giveaway. I'll do some random stuff that I have that I think would be fun to give away. So thank you to everybody who's left a review. Very, 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 very grateful. You guys left some really, really kind, sweet reviews. So I appreciate that. And I want to get to a call. I want to do a follow-up call from last week. I was talking about the news, and I was talking about the future of local news, if I recall. We were doing that, and you guys can give a ring if you have a question or a concern or a comment you want to add to the conversation. 859-935-0078. Once again, the hotline is 859-935-0078. And this is a call from John Smith. Context, he used to work local news, I believe, in Wilmington, North Carolina. He was a sports anchor. So he has great insight into working at a local news station as a sports anchor and the stories and everything. So he called in to follow up because I said, what's the future of news? To remind everybody, I said last week, how will the news exist when people like me are 65, 70 years old? How will it exist? Because I don't watch the local news now. Who's going to watch it in 25 years? So John called in to comment on that. Let me just pull that up. Here we are. Okay.
Andy, great show. Smith, so you asked if local news is going to be around in 20 years. I'm the person to tell you. The answer is yes, and you're going to get more of it. Because as syndicated shows, and you know what that is, any show that is not a network show, become more expensive, all these local affiliates are saying, screw you, we're not going to pay for it. So they're going to give you more local news. So now you're going to have a 4, 435, 536, 6. And then they'll switch. You'll have a 10, 10, 11. It's going to be everywhere. And guess what? It sucks because the reporters, they get the shaft. I'll never forget there was a Thanksgiving Day that I had to report. And I had finished the story, was waiting to send it in, and was procrastinating because I knew that if I sent it in too early, they were going to give me something else to do. So I finished it, sent it in. It was a story on axe throwing. Some guy was going to a championship. Sent it in. I was hanging out with a fam, got a phone call from my anchor, and he was like, John, what are you doing? And I'm like, eating some food. It's Thanksgiving. And he was like, well, you have a story for tonight? I'm like, no, it's Thanksgiving. Already sent mine in. He's like, well, you could go to a gym and talk to people about working off that turkey. I'm like, they're all closed. Well, sat around for a while, got a phone call. They sent me to a fire in the middle of the fucking woods. Live at 11:30. John Smith reporting from a fucking fire. Yeah, get ready for it. News is coming all over the place. Later, man.
Thanks for the call, John. Appreciate it. So, according to John, he thinks there's going to be more local news. It's not just going to be your 6 p.m., your 11 p.m., and obviously your local morning news. He thinks there's going to be more. That's interesting. And what else is interesting is that they will just fish for the most boring, mundane stories. That sucks. That really sucks. But again, I see what he's saying, and I get the financial stuff with syndication and with the cable fees and with programming. I understand that. What my question is who's paying for the advertising if nobody's watching it? That's kind of always been my thing with a lot of shows at this point. Right? So if no one's watching the local news, what brands want to advertise television ads? Right? That's my question. And it's going to get continuously worse, I would assume. Because they really dig for any stories. I'm going to show you this one thing locally, which made me laugh. As some of you might know, I am the admin for Gold Star on Twitter here in Cincinnati. So Gold Star is they're known more as a chili joint. They actually have a pretty diverse menu, but they've been in Cincinnati since 65. They're always kind of in the same wavelength as Skyline. But anyway, I've been doing work for Gold Star for about 2 years, and I fully run their Twitter now as their admin, which is, to be honest, a really fun job. And they let me have fun. The people at marketing at corporate literally give me free reign to post, which is pretty awesome. And kudos to them. And I really like the CEO, and he likes me, and it's the same way. Like they know my brand of humor. So I'll push the edge. I'll push the envelope. You see this with a lot of brands now, the Wendy's, the Taco Bell, McDonald's, a lot of the admins, especially on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, can really push the envelope. And Gold Star lets me do that. So last November, when Ohio voted to legalize marijuana in a vote, it was put on the ballot and it crushed. It was easily passed. I believe it was like 60 to 40%. I made a joke on Gold Star's Twitter, and I quote tweeted the local news story here from the Cincinnati paper, the Cincinnati Enquirer. I just quote tweeted the article which said that marijuana had passed. And I wrote, something tells me we're going to be selling a lot more coney crates, which is 10 cheese conies in a crate that Gold Star sells. So I quote tweeted that, and it goes gangbusters, right? It gets like millions of impressions. And I think a lot of people here, especially since it's conservative, are like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. People enjoy it. Some people were offended. It's all good fun. So me quote tweeting about legal marijuana from a restaurant brand account that has about 60 locations. There's 60 locations of Gold Star in Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky. Literally made the local news, and I couldn't stop laughing. This is what John Smith is talking about. They need stories. They need to fill airtime. And they fill it by me posting a tweet about marijuana. Here's the news story, in case you guys want to see it. This is the news story about the local news anchor talking about the Gold Star tweet. This is so ridiculous.
Now, love it or hate it, marijuana could be a boom for Ohio. A study from OSU shows that recreational marijuana could bring between $276 and $400 million in tax revenue by the 5th year of the program. And by a tweet from Gold Star, they show that they're having a little fun with this. They say that they're going to have increasing coney crate sales. They say tells us that coney crate sales are going to increase. So local businesses having a little fun with the idea of recreational marijuana too.
That guy is so uncomfortable. It's so funny to me. You can tell he's like a Gold Star is having fun with marijuana. But let's listen to this again. Listen to how uncomfortable he is. And I love how they have my tweet on a giant screen at the news station with marijuana leaves behind it. The whole thing is just so funny to me. It's just ridiculous.
With this, they say that they're going to have increasing coney crate sales. They say tells us that coning crate sales are going to increase. So local businesses having a little fun with the idea of recreational marijuana too. Now, we will be keeping a close eye on the legislature in the coming weeks.
So this is exactly what John is talking about in his call. They're literally just trying to fill airtime. And for me, it's hilarious when that makes the news or when that post makes the local paper, because it did. Sometimes I forget that Cincinnati is a Midwest conservative city. I think because I lived in Los Angeles for so long, right? Nobody's blinking an eye in Los Angeles. That's not making the local news in Los Angeles about a local brand making a munchies joke because marijuana is now legal. Nobody's doing that. But in Cincinnati, they do. Which, by the way, is to my advantage. It's fully to my advantage because it is so conservative. So when you go outside the box a little, people are like, oh my God, did you see what he posted? It's all fun, man. It's all fun to me. They actually just opened dispensaries this week. So that passed last November. And it takes some time to get all the logistics and the legal stuff down. They just opened dispensaries in Ohio on Tuesday. So yesterday they opened. I believe it was 98 dispensaries in Ohio. And I think there's 19 in Cincinnati. It's so funny to me, man. It's so funny. A guy slept in his car. I was reading a story. A guy slept in his car from 6 p.m. until when they opened yesterday at like 7 or 8 a.m. to be the first one in line to get legal recreational cannabis. He slept in his car. I mean, it's hilarious. Again, I think because I come from California, where I lived most recently, and that was legalized in 2016, so 8 years ago. And here you are now in Ohio, and I believe almost half the country, I think it's like 24 states, 25 states have legalized marijuana. So I don't know. People, the stigma on that stuff is still so funny to me. People are like, oh my God. Oh my God. So bad for you. It's like, no, man, I could literally get a little stoned, sit by a pool. I feel great. I don't want to drive. Tell you that much. Saturday was a prime example. We got back from the party cove with my buddies. I decided to up my game a little, ate some more edibles, and I'm a lightweight. And all my buddies wanted to go out to the bars in Ozarks. They have an area called the Strip. And I just said, there's no way I'm leaving, guys. There's no way. I don't care if all 5 of you guys go. I'm feeling great. The Olympics are on. I'm feeling nice and stoned. My buddy just ordered 4 bomb-ass local pizzas. I'm good, guys. And my buddies were like, you're really not going. I said, no, I feel great. I feel better than I could. I got pizza. I got a little high. Or I was probably really high. What else do I need? I got this beautiful view. The sun is about to set. I'm watching a sunset over a lake. I could hop in the pool. And all 5 of my buddies went. And I think they were a little annoyed that I didn't go. But the funny part was they all came back. They all came back shortly. Because I knew the same thing was going to happen to them. Not even 30 minutes later, 2 of my buddies walked back in. And then probably 45 minutes after that, another buddy walks in. And then an hour after that. It was so funny to me. I said to him the next morning, I said, guys, 5 of you went to the bars and you took 4 separate Ubers home. like none of you guys wanted to stay out that late. We're old. But it's nice that it's legal. It's nice that I have a place to go. I don't even do it that much, truthfully. I really don't. I got a kid now. I got to be on my game. I really don't even mess with that stuff that much. But it's nice to have a little outlet to relax and decompress. I wanted to bring something up to you guys that I found absolutely wild after listening to this podcast, especially since I've been talking about it on this show. The random text messages I get, right? The random text messages that I get from people, and I always respond with the D's nuts meme. I've told you guys about this. I've posted them. I've shared them on the show. It's a thing a lot of people get, right? We get these random text messages, and I've always said, what's the end game? What's going on here? And I giggle because I'm a child, and sending them a meme that says D's nuts always makes me laugh. Well, I don't know if I'm going to keep doing that after the podcast I listen to. So I listen to a podcast pretty frequently called The Journal. It's from the Wall Street Journal. It is a daily podcast, anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. It'll cover news, politics, a business story. I find a lot of it pretty interesting. I want to learn stuff, especially if I'm in my car. It's a quick, easy 15 to 20 minute podcast. So on a drive, if I'm going to the grocery store and back, I can hear a podcast about, like, for example, yesterday, I see the episode is what the stock market panic says about the economy, whatever. I'm just, I want to learn some things. So I listen to this podcast. Again, it's just called The Journal, the Wall Street Journal. So about a week ago, this one catches my eye. It was July 29th. And it's titled, "The Slaves Sending You Scam Texts." And I was like, what? What is this? So, of course, I had to listen to it. And basically, I learned that when I was ever messaging with people or doing D's nuts, a lot of times I could have been text messaging with somebody who's literally a slave. Let me explain it to you. I highly recommend listening to the podcast. Again, it's not that long. But basically, this guy shares this story. He's from Ethiopia. There's a job offer in a IT world or in that kind of area of work, customer service, or whatever it is that would involve information technology or people who have that background. Like, this guy literally was educated, and they run an ad for his company, for a job in Thailand. Now they target poor people or poor educated people. He accepts it. He talks to somebody on the phone. They fly him to Thailand. He goes there. They put him up in a nice hotel. He thinks he's got this new job. He's excited. And then somebody picks a bunch of these people up from the hotel. They take them to the border, which is Myanmar. Is it pronounced Myanmar? I think it's pronounced Myanmar, which borders Thailand. So they take them across a river in Myanmar, and they take them to a compound where they're slaves. And literally their goal is to scam people out of money. And if they don't, they get beat. They straight up get tortured. And that's what the podcast was talking about. And everything they say in this podcast is exactly what's happened to me. One of the things they say is they act like they texted somebody accidentally, which I'm going to pull this up. This is exactly what happened to me on July 15th. They have scripts, and one of the moves they do is they act like they send an accidental text, and then they get you in, and then they start texting. So I got a text July 15th. "Alan, let's go golfing tomorrow." So I always play along. And that's what they actually want you to do. Because their end game is they pose as a girl and they try to get you to send them money. And they're doing this to people all over the world. So I get a text, Alan, let's go fishing. I'm sorry, let's go golfing tomorrow. I say, sure, what time are you thinking? Because I want to see where this goes. And I got the time to do it. They respond, sorry, my assistant accidentally entered the wrong number. I hope I didn't disturb your beautiful day. Obviously, that sounds like a scripted thing that they have all ready to go. I said, so you don't want to golf with me? They respond, thank you for your reply. You are a polite person. If you're in Los Angeles, I will buy you coffee to apologize. Yeah, this really makes sense. I said, was hoping you could buy my golf round. Bring Alan too. Make it a threesome. They respond, of course. If there is an opportunity, we always meet better people inadvertently. Nice to meet you. I'm Sophia. So now suddenly they're revealing that they're a woman. And that's what they explain in this podcast is that's their goal, is to say they're a woman. And then they weave their way in with fake pictures. They're going to catfish you. They're going to try to get you to solicit money, send money. And that's the end game. So I respond to the person saying they're Sophia. Hi, Sophia. I'm Mr. ... And then I send them the D's nuts meme. They write, is this really your name? Which I, of course, say yes. Then they say, nice name. I'm from Canada. I'm 36-year-old and now live in Los Angeles. What about you? And I stopped responding there because I had shit to do. But that's the move. So if you listen to this podcast, again, I highly recommend it. It's fascinating. It's called The Slaves Sending You Scam Text. It's on the Journal. Their end game is then to get you in, and they share stories of people that they've tricked. And the guy who was enslaved shares that story about how he tricked this, I believe it was Indian or Pakistani man, to send him thousands of dollars. A guy fell in love with a fake person and had a family and all this, and he didn't care. And these people are being held hostage and they have quotas and they're enslaved. They live in dormitories. And I guess in this country, Myanmar, it's kind of the wild, wild west. And I guess it's next to China. I'm not good at geography, but it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And it's a numbers game, right? If you reach out to enough people, somebody's going to fall for it. And apparently enough people do. And the guy who sits down with the Wall Street Journal for the podcast stopped doing it and was refusing to do it. And they literally beat him. They would hold him up, tie his hands, handcuffed, and just whip and beat him. And the only reason he eventually got let go was that he agreed to send them, I believe, like $7,000 or $8,000. His family had to sell their house back in Ethiopia. It's really sad, to be honest. So this whole time, I thought I was just messing with people, and I just thought it was some scammer. I hear this podcast. These could be slaves. I mean, it's really, really sad. I just got another one. When did I get it? I got one recently. Let me pull it up. Where is it? I'm not seeing it, but I got one where they always ask me about a house. And or do you own this house? Oh, I got one 2 weeks ago. Hello, Thomas. I have a sincere proposal for 2320 Tierra Monte Arch. Buying as is and fees are on me. Can we chat today? I write back, I'm free tomorrow if that works better. They write, I don't have a specific number yet, but can provide one. Like, it's all a scam. I do want to get these people on the phone. It's all twisted, man. It's all sick. The fact that this exists. So maybe now I won't respond with these nuts. I don't know what the move is. Do I just ignore it? I mean, you feel bad. I literally want to say, Text this emoji if you're a slave. Not that I can do anything about it. I don't know. What's the move here? What's the move, guys? Like you're getting these things, and there's a good chance somebody's being forced against their will, held against their will to send these texts to try to solicit money. It's all messed up, man. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. But I highly recommend listening to that podcast because your mind's going to be like, what the fuck? That's how I felt when I was hearing it. I was thinking, this is insane. This is crazy. Well, on that note, I think we're going to wrap it up here today. Once again, the hotline is 859-935-0078. Give a ring. You got a question, you got a comment, you want to add to any conversation I've had, you want to call me out on something, it's all fair game. I appreciate all that. So leave a call at the hotline there, always in the description of the podcast. And keep dropping those reviews. Appreciate it, guys. And what was it? C Feist 4? My man C Feist. Hit me up. I'll reach out to you on DM if I don't hear from you, and I'll send you that money. All right, guys. That was our show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next Wednesday. Have a great weekend. Peace.